All right. All right. So it's been 2 weeks since I've streamed, and I'm not going to lie, I am pretty excited. Somebody's messed with my chair. All right. I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty excited to stream tonight. It's been 2 weeks, and I've honestly, me and Carly were house sitting for some friends of ours, and then last week we went on vacation. We went to the beach, and I had a great time. Like, I hope nobody misconstrues that. I had a phenomenal time, and I wouldn't change anything about it. Um, but I am very excited to be back and be streaming. Oh, that's gonna drive me crazy. All right, now they're all matching. Okay. And what better way to come back and celebrate streaming than to play Burn with Flame Rift? Flame Rift got announced while I've been away, and I'm pretty hyped to play it. Honestly, we're playing a mono red variant tonight. I haven't really taken enough time to look around and see what people have been playing. This is a list that I came up with that I really like. I think Grim Lavamancer is going to be good right now with the way the format's set up and the way like what it appears that people are playing so far. It looks like it's going to be really good. So I'm excited to try that tonight, and we're going to be playing 4 Skullcracks in the main. It just a great value card. Honestly, Flame Rift is like the exact card that Mono Red was missing in my opinion. And the sideboard is set up pretty standard. 2 Dismember just is like really good removal spells. Also does really good against like Oriok Champion and Core Firewalkers. Rolling Vortex is a good card, allows us to grind. Can be good in certain matchups also. Smash to Smithereens is just great a card. Like I feel like if you're playing Mono Red, you have to have Smash to Smithereens. Honestly, Dragon's Claw is just necessary. I feel like in my opinion, with Flame Rift coming out, there'll probably be a lot of people playing Burn. In a 5 round league, I'm expecting to play against Burn at least once. And then I've seen the couple times I've got to watch people stream, they've been playing graveyard decks, what appears to be graveyard decks. So I'm excited to play. Um, I think playing 3 relics will be a good idea. I really like relic and burn. It cantrips. It has a lot of utility, but we're just gonna go ahead and hop in. We're playing 19 lands. I know a lot of people normally play 20, and I honestly I just don't like playing. All right, well, gave us a match finally. Well, let's get into it then. Yep, we'll go first happily. This hand's fine. We're gonna play Mountain and say go here and see what they do. I see they've updated the Moto interface to include the word mulligans now. That's interesting. All right. Play Eidolon and say go. I don't really. I mean, this feels like this has to be like one of those. Oh. I mean, I can only assume that this is one of those. I don't know, like food decks in some way. Gains. Pay 2. Tap. All right. Feels like Flame Rift, get in for 4 seems like the good play here. I don't know, that could be wrong. Maybe it's just better to attack for 3 and then play Lavamancer. That way we're allowing ourselves to... Yeah. We're allowing ourselves to set up for Lavamancer and Flame Rift next turn, which is pretty solid, I feel like. Lavamancer would have been a Shard Volley right there. I'm trying to keep track of tonight and see if I like Shard Volley or Lavamancer better in this spot. Um, just to see like which one's better in my opinion. So having that information, knowing that we would have just played Flame Rift there. Amulet of Vigor with Urza Saga. Okay. So this is some kind of Titan deck? Have access to 4 mana here. Okay. Okay. So we get to cast Flame Rift. We're going to yield to that, which is going to put us both to 8. So if he does block, we basically get to trade a Lavamancer activation for our creature, and if he doesn't block, so I don't know. This is kind of weird because I don't know if they play fetch lands in their decks. I don't think they do, but it's hard to tell. We know that they play Breeding Pool. I don't think there's a difference between 2 and 1 here. So we're just going to say go. Because I'm actually really dumb. I wasn't thinking about it. If I would have just... Well, no. If I... No, that wouldn't have worked either. I guess I can attack with everything. So if I skewer him and then attack with everything, even if he blocks a Swift Spear, let's see, he was at 7, so he goes to 4, and then he takes 3 and goes to 1, so he doesn't die. Yeah, so am I just dead here? Man, I don't... It's an enchantment land, so it does technically count as a land. So, I mean, double Valakut just kills me here, right? Okay. Yep. He's attacking for 10. I soak up 1. So basically not hitting a land there killed me. Because if I hit a land there, I just have 7 points in my hand. Yep. Alright, this just kills me. We're just going to concede here. Which is unfortunate. Okay, Dragon's Claw seems irrelevant. Relic of Progenitus also seems irrelevant. Smash the Smithereen seems not great. Rolling Vortex, they don't really cast cards without paying their mana cost. If no mana was spent to cast that spell, deals 5 damage. So if they have to cast Summoner's Pact, we get them that way. Pact of Negation. Dismember really feels like the only thing we want here. And that's not even like surefire. Lavamancer feels pretty bad, and I guess we can cut an Eidolon here and try it like that. I don't entirely know how so I don't know. Eidolon is like okay on the play, but also not great. We wish one of these skewers was like a lava spike or something, but this hand's fine. Allows us to put on a lot of pressure really quickly, so. Our opponent keeps on 6. Teleria West on top. Forest Arboreal Grazer. Alright. Puts Teleria West into play. I can't decide which way is better to attack here. If it's better to play the Swift Spear or if it's better to play the Skewer after combat. I think it's better to get the Swift Spear down. Valakut into a Boreal Grazer. Alright, that's pretty good. And the game that he has a Boreal Grazer, we obviously don't have any Searing Blazes in our hand. Plays Castle Garenbrig, plays a Boreal Grazer, probably puts Valakut into play if I had to guess. Yep. Explore. A third Arboreal Grazer. Wow, okay. I mean, he only has one card in his hand. I guess we'll just say go here. We can't double spell, so there's no point in doing anything. We can hold up Skullcrack this way at least. Was that the other green source you needed for prime time, or are you out of gas actually a little bit? Oh, alright. Well, we're not going to complain about that. We take those wins. He might have had 3 blockers, but he doesn't have anything to follow it up with, so that's good. I think it might be better just to play our spells and say go here. I don't know. This is like a weird line we're trying to teeter here. Like, this is one of those times when Dismember is not great. That's just lethal, right? We attack in. He takes damage. He goes to 6. We skewer him. Looks like our opponent's 6th here. I can't tell. Alright, cool. So we ended up winning game 2 off the back of them having some rough draws. Um... Yeah, I think... I mean, it's just a straight race, so I think having Eidolon over Lavamancer is better. That's debatable, but we're not really looking to play like a slow game, and Lavamancer like really helps us set up for like a slower game. Gem Lavamancer is a great magic card, but it's not exactly what I want when I'm trying to race somebody. I mean, this hand's really good. It loses to our Boreal Grazer, but it is really good. Well, that's unfortunate. He has a forest in his hand? Okay. We're just going to play Lava Spike here. Goblin Guide's basically just a dead card. Like, from Wooded Foothills over might as well be our hand, in my opinion. And maybe that's not exactly correct or what we should be doing, but multiple games. He said multiple Arboreal Grazers. Does come into play tap though. So he gets to play Simic Growth Chamber. Okay. One of them, so he has 3 cards. One's a forest. Just gonna say go here. Because even if he doesn't play any, like if he does play Primeval Titan here, we can just double bolt it. And if he doesn't do anything, we're just gonna Skullcrack him. We want to hold up the double bolt for the Primeval Titan. That with other burn spells will hopefully over time help us win the game. He's not played anything else, so I'm inclined to believe here that his hand is Primeval Titan, but Dryad, okay. I don't know. It doesn't feel super promising this game so far. Like, one good draw step and our opponent's out of the situation they've been put in, but we're going to hold up Skullcrack here in case they actually draw something. If they don't do anything, we'll probably just cycle Canyon. Okay. Are they going to put the last... Is the last card in their hand a land? Not that it really matters, but... He's thinking way too hard about whether he should put in this land or not, so obviously it's a land. No, that's not what I want. Like, it's not perfect, but we're at least casting spells. Our opponent's at 8, and we have 3 points in our hand, so we're just hoping they don't pill like a Titan or something really good here. Boros Garrison. Pick up the forest, sure. They have a forest in their hand and an unknown. So, I mean, I think it's fine. We can play our stuff, like, it's not like we're just dodging draw steps. We're not really dodging. Alright, so they still have a forest in their hand. I don't know if it's worth 2 points here. I mean, I guess it's probably has to be. I hate to give them more looks at cards, but I think we need to start pushing our advantage here. Automatically give them a land. And put Primeval Titan on top of their deck. Great. Well, we know that no matter what happens here, they're at 3. Unless the last card in their hand they're sandbagging is... They now have Primetime, Forest, and the Urborg for Forest. So, I mean, unless the last card in their hand is like Amulet or Dryad, I don't think we're dead. Yep. Because even if they try to gain life, we can just Skullcrack them here. And we have a redraw at if we don't draw anything good enough. Okay. So they can attack for 8 and put us to 6. Forest and the other land in their hand. Curious to see what they get here. Probably like Colony Garden and Radiant Fountain, if I had to guess. I don't know, like it makes an extra blocker for the stuff on the board and they get to gain some life, so I imagine that's what they're going for. Putting Primetime, like... So if we win the game, then yeah, giving them Primetime for 2 points was worth it. If we don't win the game because of that, then yeah, like we're giving ourselves an extra draw step and just giving them a land. So I mean, it's hard to say what we should have done. They get Growth Chamber, Radiant Fountain. Okay, so we're gonna Skullcrack them, which basically leaves us at 4 this turn. So leaves us an out to anything but Flame Rift. Hang on, I'm trying to think if there's a way out of this. So Skewer. So it's either. Yeah, Eidolon's gonna get me here, Brandon. I'm afraid it might actually. So if I Goblin Guide, I get to attack and put them to 1, and if they. Uh. Attack and see if they crack the fetch. Alright, so attack and see what happens. Okay, well. I mean, to be fair, like, I don't know that I have a better option here. Oh. Well, if he blocks this way, I mean, it still doesn't do anything for us. Like, we still have to pay 3 for this. So, if we played, if we would have played Goblin Guide and attacked, we actually would have won, so. Oh, I thought the Goblin Guide was a Shard Volley. No, no, it wasn't a Shard Volley. If it was a Shard Volley, lol. So, I mean, so okay, so is there any reason to attack without playing Goblin Guide there? Because if they make the correct blocks, we don't win anyway. Like the correct block there is to put is to leave Eidolon alive because he's at 3 and it doesn't matter what I do. But if I play Goblin Guide, put myself to 2, and then attack with everything, and he blocks Eidolon the way he did, then we get to win. So, yeah, it was correct to play Goblin Guide there. Yeah, that was just an oversight. That's okay, though. That was a pretty close game, though. I mean, all things considered, like, there was a turning point in the game where it was attack with Eidolon and 2 Goblin Guides into double Arboreal Grazer, and hope that he doesn't hit anything, and he hit land into Primeval Titan, which ultimately lost us the game, I feel like. But the other option was to not attack and leave our opponent at 8, so which next turn draws us into Skewer, which I'm pretty sure actually, yeah, I think it would have won us the game if we didn't attack, so it's hard to say like what ultimately is correct there. Like obviously, hindsight's 2020, but at the end of the day, you just have to make the best decisions you can. I'm going to keep this. This hand's really good. We get to suspend Rift Bolt and then play Eidolon, so never listen to you? Okay, first off, I listened to you a lot. Like, we may have lost that game, but, I mean, like, if you thought it was a Shard Volley... I mean, if it was a Shard Volley, we just have game, right? Because we just Shard Volley him. I meant don't listen to me. Well, I'm definitely going to listen to you because I feel like I listen to you quite regularly. But anyway, um, yeah, I mean, that was a close game. Like, I feel like you can't, like, I mean, like, it sucks to lose games like that, but we played a close one. We just lost, like nothing to really be upset about. We just lost at the end of the day. So our opponent, oh, they have a companion, and it's Yorion. Okay. They do mulligan to 6, so that's good for us at least. Good start anyway. Nice of our opponent. Oh no! Well, I'm glad I wasn't going to play a creature there because I just misclicked through my combat step. I haven't done that in a long time. Luckily there was no real punishment, but what if there's some weird way to play Yori on burn? Play 80 cards? Interesting thought to consider. Something to be a little worried about is the fact that we are going to suspend Riftbolt going into our third turn against a Yorion deck, which can often mean Teferi. So far it's just been Hallowed Fountain at a Seacrum Coast. We're going to attack and then at least represent the idea that we have Searing Blaze for their Snapcaster Mage or something else. We're going to yield to Swiss Spear, but we're not going to yield to Eidolon. I don't really like to yield to Eidolon. And yeah, we're just going to suspend Riftbolt and say go. Hope our opponent doesn't have Teferi here to just completely shut off Riftbolt. To be fair, if he does have Teferi, I mean, Teferi's actually not a bad option for us here. Like, if that's what he does have, because it just means that we're putting our opponent's going to 9 and they're going to bounce more than likely the Eidolon. So Teferi there wouldn't have been a terrible spot. We go to 12 off of this. Hopefully they go to 11. Or they go to 8, I mean. What the hell is this? When Solitude enters the battlefield, exile up to one other target creature. That... Okay. So he just cast that for exiling a white card? Skyclave Apparition. Interesting. So he gets to exile something. My Eidolon. Okay. Basically for free. Okay. Our opponent's at 4 now. Now, they do have a little bit of a clock. Now, considering they're playing Spell Queller and all this other nonsense, they are probably playing Teferi. So let's play Eidolon and see what they do. I'm okay with taking 2 points here to make them pay mana for their spells. Oh. Alright, so they're playing this Solitude card. So it's 5 mana and it has Flash, or they can evoke it by exiling a white card from their hand. Alright? So this feels like a Roiling Vortex matchup. I don't like... They're probably... Like, if they're playing Spell Queller, they're playing Teferi, I imagine. So Searing Blaze seems like it can be good, but it also seems like it's pretty rough. I think we're going to leave in a couple copies of Searing Blaze. We're going to leave in Searing Blaze. Lava Mancer is actually really good in matchups like this, so I think we can just cut Flame Rift, honestly. Try it that way. I don't really want to bring in the Dismembers because we already have a ton of interaction. Like, Searing Blaze, Bolt, Rift Bolt, Skewer, Lava Mancer, already really good points of interaction. We just named, 17 of them, so we'll see what happens. Rolling Vortex is going to be really good in a deck like this, I think. Against a deck like this. I question if they're playing blue-white, if they're playing Teferi. I wonder if they're playing Force, and I also wonder if they're playing Teferi and Force, or Force of Negation. I should clarify. Really, the only playable one, except for the green one. But I'm wondering if I should have cut some number of Rift Bolts. This hand seems very good. Our opponent keeps 7. We're also going to keep 7. This hand feels really solid. I don't see a reason to ship this one. Alright, a Mirius Call, but the land side. We're going to get a basic here, because it's the only thing we can fetch. Serving up 1. We'll see what they do next turn. It feels like this is going to be like some kind of like blue-white flash deck in Modern. They might be playing Geist of St. Traft out of the sideboard. I don't really know if that's something we need to be concerned with, but Geist of St. Traft is a really good card. I'm sorry, what? Enters the battlefield, exile all cards that are black or red from all graveyards. If a black or red permanent, spell, or card on the battlefield will be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. Okay? So let's draw a Skullcrack, please. Alright. I guess we're going to run out our Eidolon here and see what they do. We can't really, not much we can do. Can't Searing Blaze it. From black and from red. Alright. They make a lot of white cards that are pro black and pro red. You gonna get aggressive, Bob? Boss? You gonna serve it up there, big guy? Sanctifier Invec. Invec? I don't know. I guess that's how you say that. Nope. This really feels like Spell Queller. I'm just going to say go. I'm not even going to take the time to attack. I have no interest in giving them a reason to play Spell Queller here. Like, if they want to play something, they can, but I'm probably just going to cast a Lightning Bolt on the end of their turn, target them. Sword of Fire and Ice. Okay. That is very interesting. So we're after going to go to 16. They're going to go to 14. We're going to shove in with both. I know we don't actually have anything to play here, but I'm curious to see how they block. Because with me having 4 cards in my hand, I can't imagine there's a world where they're not blocking the Eidolon, but it's hard to tell. I don't know. People do all kinds of weird things for different reasons, so. Now from here on out, we've shown our hand here that we don't have anything to play at instant speed. So, and if we did have something to play at instant speed, we were really sandbagging it right there, because that would have been a good time to take a free point from Swiss Beer. You okay? What you doing? Oh, Lord. They're debating if they want to attack, and I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I guess they don't have to attack, but it feels like a losing line for them not to attack. So, this has shown us that we can definitely bring in the dismembers, and that we can. Well, it's got protection from red and black, doesn't it? So it doesn't really do us any good, honestly. Bringing in dismembers is probably very questionable, but I think bringing in smash is pretty reasonable. Interesting. If they have another protection guy, then we're probably done ski here, but. Sort of fire at ice. They're probably playing Ether Vial. Or not Ether Vial, and they might be playing Ether Vial, honestly, but probably playing like Stoneforge Mystic and Batter Skull. Probably playing the new equipment, if I had to guess. That's 7 mana one. I don't really know what our opponent's doing here, honestly, but. Stoneforge Mystic? Stoneforge Mystic is actually just lethal, right? Because we get to like control Z and like do it twice. So now, and because we've targeted with Searing Blaze, they actually take 6 here. Then they go to 2. And then we attack for 2. Alright. So we ended up beating blue-white flash stuff. I don't know, blue-white Yorion flash stuff. I don't know. It was pretty weird. I was kind of sweating it for a minute there, honestly, just with the way our draw was going. And the way their hand shaped up, because I wasn't really expecting the protection from red and black guy. I mean, we didn't really bring in dismembers to play around any protection guys at all, but you know, that's okay. We ended up winning, so we are 1-1 now with our mono red flame rift burn. Oh, this guy's on the leaderboard. Like pretty high on the leaderboard too. He's pretty good. I feel like this is a mulligan. This hand's a lot better. We're gonna keep this, And I wonder what our opponent. I mean, I have no idea of knowing what our opponent's playing. But more than likely, Skullcrack is better. So we're gonna put Flame Rift on the bottom. I'd like to put Skullcrack on the bottom because Flame Rift is more damage. But if they're playing, I mean, like there's a good chance a lot like Skullcrack's just pretty good against a lot of the format. So our opponent also mulligans the 6 cards. We're gonna keep this, ship Flame Rift. I mean, maybe on the play, like in the blind, we're supposed to keep Flame Rift and just see what happens, but I don't know. All right, I think we're gonna try and use the standing desk feature of our setup here. Doesn't it come up higher than this? It does. Swasm. All right. Play Goblin Guide. Attack. Ah, so it's so Skullcrack is gonna be better here. That's good. That also means that Eidolon is gonna be really good here. So at least I think Eidolon will be really good here. Sacrifice this, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay? Okay. Get to attack for 2. They have Stitcher Supplier. Okay. I mean, sure, they're making a bunch of food tokens is cool, but they have to be able to do something with them. And I don't like. I think this deck has like started playing Witch's Oven and other things like that, but they don't get a ton of value from their stuff. I mean, like they do the deck based around it, but I don't think it's enough for it to matter to us. If I'm just being honest, I'm not sure of that, but ooh, okay. Create a food token and you're gonna dredge. All right. Or at least I assume you're gonna dredge. Golgari Thug, Stitcher Supplier, Blooming Marsh. All right. Tranquil Thicket. All right. They're gonna play something. Play the 1 mana 3/3. Okay. Play the Underworld Cookbook. Is that this one? Okay. Seems good. I mean, 1 mana 3/3s are historically very good. We're going to suspend this. We're going to put you to 11, and we're going to say go. I think our Eidolon's going to be really important here. Again, I don't know that. Like, our Eidolon, like, it could just be worth 2 points to trade Eidolon, but it also lets them play spells freely without having to think about anything, and we don't want that, so. I know that against this deck, we want Relic. Oh, wow, that's pretty good. So they can just put that bad boy into play this turn. They go to 9 to play their cookbook. And I imagine they're going to be able to. Like, so weird that it doesn't line up the cookbooks. Like, I don't know. It just, in my head, it would make so much more sense if it just set them on top of each other or close to each other where you could tell what they were. Okay. I mean, that's a pretty cool little combo, I think. Like, allows them to keep a card in their hand and make food, so. They're at 9, and if we draw land, we just have 9, so. Unless they just ultimately have a way to go for it here, or do something crazy. Did I miss something? Sacrifice 2 foods. Target creature deals 6 damage to itself. Okay. So they unnecessarily took 2 damage there, which is good. For us, anyway. Stitcher Supplier. Okay. Human Pilot. Alright. Well. Land, please. Or a bolt or a spike. That is not what we wanted. Are we running that out? There's a lot of stuff I don't understand what's happening here, so. I think I'm just going to say go here and hold up Skullcrack. There's no point in attacking or doing anything, so. If they try to do something to gain life here, we can just Skullcrack them in response. Sure. Get to return both of those back to their hand. I don't understand how the deck wins. I haven't really had a chance to watch this yet, and I've seen Doomwake and a couple other people playing it, but I really don't understand how they win. Like, what's the real objective here? Okay. Okay. Again, I still don't really understand what's going on here, but. Okay. Well, they get to gain 1 here, and go to 7, then go to 4, but that still puts us to where any 1 mana burn spell does it here. I don't know if they realize that or not. Well, it's been a couple of unfortunate draws. We're going to play Lavamancer. And we can hop in front and soak up 3 next turn. Our opponent has been on the very fortunate side of some really, really, really bad draw steps here. They still have life from the loam in their hand, And they have, I mean, the cards in their hand are Life from the Loam and two of the bouncy guys. I don't know what they're called. So we're gonna call them the bouncy guy. Huh? Witch's Oven? Okay, Witch's Oven is a little annoying, but not unbeatable. Okay. So now their hand is two bouncy guys and a Life from the Loam still. Okay. They're going to return Cauldron Familiar, go to 4. They can go to 5 here. And then they can go to 4 and then go to 7, and then we have 5, puts them to 2. So basically through the fetch and everything, they end up at 2 with what I can see so far, and based off the cards we know that are in their hand. I was like, if he sends with everything, then we're just not going to block. But we are going to throw the Goblin Guide in front of the 3/3 and take 7 here. So we take 7, go to 7. Okay. Not gonna lie, it would be pretty cool if Skewer was an instant. I mean, it'd make fetching pretty much impossible, but... Looks like they can't decide what they're doing. Who are you playing with? Oh, thought Joseph was like taking a nap or something, he said. So they're doing something now, because they're going to 3 here. Would be kind of disappointing to lose this game just on the back of so many bad draw steps. Yep, so they're going to go to 6. And so basically no matter what happens, we can't win here because Flame Rift doesn't do it. Like, we don't have a third land for Flame Rift. Our opponent has used an awful lot of their clock. They've used an extra 6 more minutes extra than we have, and it's only the first game. Now, the one thing that I know is that Relic of Progenitus is going to be very good here, and so is Smash to Smithereens. Those all feel like 10s in this matchup. So he just left. All right. Huh? All right. Thanks, opponent. So, yeah, I mean, so, yeah. All right. It's unfortunate to lose that game. A third land at any point would have just been like lights out. Um, so we want all of our smashes. All right. cast a spell. Did they cast a spell that game that they didn't pay mana for? I don't think so. So we bring in Relic, we bring in Smash. Flame Rift does not seem great. Neither does Lavamancer. And Eidolon actually seemed really good there. And so does Searing Blaze. This kind of feels like a what's worst. Try it like that and see what happens. We don't want to cut a whole bunch of like 1-drops. I mean, our creatures probably won't be great here. That was also something to consider. If there's a game 3 on the draw, we probably bring in Skewers and cut Goblin Guide and Swiftspear. Because it's probably just straight up worth to have the extra spells. So I'm going to be honest, this hand's really good, but I just don't think we can keep it based on the fact that if we don't draw land, we're not going to do anything, and also our one land is going to kill us. So this hand automatically feels a lot better. We can keep this and put a Lava Spike back. Yeah. Our opponent keeps 7, which is fine. I feel like this will also be a really good test to see how good our creatures will be. I don't know if our opponent's playing Street Wraith in their deck, but if they are, they can play that 3/3 on turn 1, so... And if they just play something like the, the discard artifact, I'm going to be honest, I don't remember what it's called. Urza Saga. Does anybody in the chat know, does Urza Saga count as actually playing your land? Because it says enchantment land, so I feel like it does, but I'm not sure. Gains, pay 2, tap it, create a construct. Witch's Oven, okay? So I feel like Riftbolt is better here because it allows us to have a more explosive turn. And you know, again, it could be better just to space out the damage and suspend Riftbolt next turn, but I like the idea of having like the idea of having multiple things, of having a bigger turn 3. This cat, Citrus Supplier is pretty good. Let's not hit a cat. Okay, we dodged a cat. That's pretty good. I mean, it's kind of, you know, hitting the Citrus Suppliers, you know, kind of whichever way you want to look at it. So I'm going to attack for 4 here. And I imagine before damage, they're going to make a... They're going to make a food and mill 3 cards here. And I'm going to smash the Witch's Oven. Troll King's on top, okay. So we know that's going to their graveyard. Troll King, Nature's Claim. Friggin' Urborg gets me every time. They go to 9, then they go to 7. I mean, Nature's Claim It makes sense. It's a single green to gain 4 life on something you don't really care about, so. Oh, you get to put that onto the battlefield. Okay, so he gets to put the cookbook onto the battlefield. Okay. Plays another Urza Saga, which means he has access to 3 mana this turn. Ow. He can go to 10 here if he wants to. Okay. So he has the discard bouncy guy. Okay. Seems pretty good. What's it do? Oh, he gets the Underworld Cookbook from his hand. Yep. Bounces the plays the bouncy guy. Is he gonna put Feasting Troll King into play here? Is that is that our play? Okay. Sure. I'm not gonna I think we're just gonna say go here and see what our opponent does before we actually play anything. Hey, Kyle, gifting 5 subs. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you, man. Fatal push, okay. Happy belated birthday, Hoss. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. That's very nice of you. Are you working tonight or are you off work today, Kyle? I feel like we talked about this last night, but I can't remember. And my hair's doing whatever it wants. God, it drives me crazy. I'm a giver. What can I say? No, I'm off. That's awesome. You want to play Rocket League a little bit? Me and Wally had talked about playing earlier. Oh, my opponent's waiting on me. Plays the swamp. If he has another way to produce a third. Yeah, I told Wally to get his ass on. Lol. Okay. Makes a food token. Puts the bouncy guy back in his hand. Okay. We take 10, go to 9 here. Us getting stuck on lands like this has inevitably forced us into situations where we can't really get our opponent. Like our skull cracks are kind of just hanging out. He's going to sacrifice the food token here, go to 10, and then go back to 7, and then we're going to have no way to kill him next turn. Like, I've been watching this deck play, and I'm going to be honest. Yeah, like, see, like, now we're sitting here again, and, like, we can set up for a big turn, but, like, I guess we can set up to kill them the following turn? I don't know, like, this feels like an impossible situation given our lands, given the way that our lands are set up. Like, if our lands had, like, if we'd had 3 or 4 lands, we could have been playing 2 spells every turn. But we're forced to play 1 spell every turn, and now we're stuck in this situation. We have Rift Bolt suspended, and we have a Skullcrack. So it's like, I discard the bouncy guy, okay? I will forever be calling him the bouncy guy. Witch's Oven. And the cat. Lord. So our opponent goes to 5 off the cat, go to 6 off the cat, and they can just gain 3 and go to 9, which inevitably kills us. Actually, the cat's just lethal here, isn't it? Because no matter how we block, we're just dead. Oh, or you can just do that. Either way, we were dead there. Yeah, that's... So I feel like that's actually a really good matchup for us. They play like this like slower, weird like deck, and sure they play a lot of food tokens, but like at the same time, like none of their stuff really gets going quickly. And between Skullcrack and Smash, we should really be able to take off and kind of shut them off. So us getting stuck on 2 lands both games was inevitably resulted in a loss there. But why are you playing Vortex? I mean, it was ultimately like in that like it was Vortex or Searing Blood in that spot, and I don't know, like I haven't really seen anything that Searing Blood seems great against, other than that Humans deck I played the other night. So we're playing Vortex. Plus Vortex seems good if people are wanting to play these like grindy decks. With 4 Skullcracks, I was just curious. Yeah, it's honestly not really for the life gain so much as it is to randomly get people with free spells and to like just grind out life over games. Our, I was being talked about that I didn't know what was happening. We're gonna keep this hand. It's tough to tell what we should lead on here. Like obviously we're gonna lead on Lavamancer because Lavamancer is really good on turn 1. But so we're gonna play Lavamancer so we can get it down and start trying to make something happen here. And then we're so again, Yorion. Probably playing Teferi. It's a pretty aggressive statement, and if they have Teferi, we probably concede on the spot here, but we're going to go for it. It might just be that that's not in the cards for us tonight, but yep, we're going to take 2 here. To be fair, they also haven't played a blue source yet. Okay. Interesting. So we're definitely going upstairs. And then we're definitely going upstairs. They've chosen to take this. They have chosen to take Charming Prince as 6 life as opposed to scrying to draw more lands. And if they have a 3rd Charming Prince here, then get wrecked us. But there's not much we can do about that. Okay. Path. Ephemerate. Okay. Now we can play around the rebounded one. That's okay. This does seem like the most annoying deck in the face of the planet to play against with Burn. So I'm just going to say go here. We can Skullcrack them. Let them decide what they're doing here. Okay. Basically, our opponent started the game at 29. That's nice. All right. We're gonna go upstairs. I mean, 10, 8, 4, 1. Imagine it's Batterskull coming down here, but so we're gonna go upstairs. Okay. What do they exile? Spell Queller? Okay, so this is obviously a popular deck. Okay. Well, we need any burn spell or a land here. Virtually anything but a creature. Now they're debating how to attack. I like it. Oh, they're just going to get in. I respect it. Okay, Ether Vial. Well, we're going to go for it. If they have Ephemerate, they have Ephemerate. Alright, they did not have it. We ended up getting out of that one. How? God only knows. Okay, so... so this is one of those times that I don't know if all... actually, Rolling Vortex doesn't seem bad. So I think we can board like this. And then I think we can cut... Actually, I don't think we want Eidolons on the draw. Oh, come on. We'll cut the Eidolons, and we'll leave in 2 Flame Rifts on the draw. We'll bring in Rolling Vortex because it helps against the rebound card. It helps against rebound against Ephemerate. It stops life gain. 2 Smash to Smithereens is really good because it helps randomly snag something that we hate, and Dismember is really good removal in case they have like Core Firewalker or something else that we need to beat. It's also randomly. It's also really good against the Batterskull. So I feel like all things considered, we got pretty lucky to sneak out with that first game there. Our opponent had the same problem that we had the match before this. It just couldn't draw lands. I feel like this hand's really solid. We have lands, we have spells. Wish we had a Skullcrack or a Vortex here, but I think Searing Blaze on turn 2 is going to be really solid, so... Oh, and our opponent's on a mulligan to 5. I won't complain about that. Having your goldfish you didn't get to eat in the car the other night. So we're going to lead on Goblin Guide because we drew it, and Goblin Guide is definitely the best one drop. Now it sucks we gave them a Plains after they mulligan, but Ether Vial is also another reason to have Smash the Smithereens in after board. So Core Firewalker sucks a little bit, but we are going to play Swiss Spear. Going to Lava Spike our opponent. And then say go. The alternate line there was to just attack with Goblin Guide and hold up Skullcrack. That is always an option, but I'm going to be honest, it is one of my least favorite options. I prefer to give them that option next turn. We can also attack and do other things. Let me guess. Gain 3 life. Yep. Good job, buddy. You did it. So we're going to shove in here and see what they do. Hey, Zachy. Hashtag lol. God, you guys had so much fun with that at the beach. That was mom. Every time I hear somebody say that, I imagine Raya going lol, making fun of me. So if he activates Vile and puts in something, we can Searing Blaze it. It's your daddy. All right. Yep. Well, we're done here. God. Swinging in for 2. All right. Ether Vial on 3. Put Yorion into their hand. We're gonna crack this, draw card, Rift Bolt. Okay. Well, drawing lands has not been not mother. All right, Noah, are you having fun? Drawing lands has not been our strong suit this evening. We do get to cast Skewer here, which is basically just shock. Is this Spell Queller? I won't lie, I think it's pretty interesting that they Spell Quellered my Skewer. I mean, they must have multiple Spell Quellers if that was their line. So, gonna take everything they do as if they have another Spell Queller. And they ticked up to 4, so... Well, we're gonna target the Spell Queller with a Rift Bolt. Okay. Now, we're going to cast Skewer the Critics. Attack for 3. Okay. We're going to hold up Skullcrack here. I wish we would have drawn a fetch land at some point. It would have been really nice to have had a fetch land. So this means they probably have the 3/2 flash thing. The Solitude, I think is what it's called. Hey, Carly, 4 months. My God, have I been streaming for 4 months now? Thank you, baby. All right, so now they have multiple ways to play that. We're gonna Skullcrack them here, and we have really done this the hard way so far. All right, we're gonna play the Bloodstained Mire. I feel like it's actually a pretty good draw step. Like normally I wouldn't be a huge fan of having a land there, but so I'll actually get to gain an extra life here, which will be pretty sweet. Because of prowess. Ooh, what is this? Yorion? Okay, So that's just a lot of power that we can't really beat here. So we're just gonna chalk this one up and just go our way here. It feels like we've really sideboarded in the best way possible. They have the evoke creature, which makes rolling vortex even better. I really like the way we have this set up, honestly. I don't know that Eidolon is great, so I think we're just gonna leave it out. It could be really good on the play. Could probably might be better than Vortex, but I think we got to mulligan this. I think this hand is a lot better because we get to ship a land back and we get to have multiple pieces of interaction here. So yeah, this seems really good. Our opponent keeps 7, which is unfortunate when you're playing against. I can only. All right. Well, I mean, okay, like not much we can do about that. We're gonna go ahead and get Vortex down. Our hand's not super interactive here, honestly. It's really not, but we're kind of hoping that we can make something happen. Thalia, okay, Thalia's not great. Like to draw a lightning bolt like right here. So Searing Blaze overall isn't bad. We're gonna run out Goblin Guide, and then we're gonna say go because we can hold up Vortex, the gain life feature. Not that I think it's super relevant, but you know, a land here at any point allows us to Searing Blaze the Thalia. Arguably, because they do play Ephemerate and they do play Spell Queller, so going into their third turn, it's very questionable that we actually get to do either of those. What you doing, Tyrion? Meow. Did he just take the time to put Yorion into his hand? Okay. Land, please. I wish we would have got to use our Searing Blaze there, but that is ultimately a removal spell. So... what did they reveal off the first one? Or nothing. So, okay, they have Ephemerate in their hand. So basically, Rolling Vortex says if you ever cast Ephemerate, when you rebound, you take 5, which is pretty sweet. Yeah. Go to 10, big boy. And then we get to go back to 20 off of them exiling our Goblin Guide. It is target creature, yeah. So I guess we're just going to hold up Bolt here and see what they do. So they go to 9. I was like, they probably won't cast their Ephemerate because Ephemerate says do nothing, take 5. Okay. Tapping out for Yorion here. Okay. Would really like to see a land. So So this is really solid. We get to put our opponent to 5, and then they're going to 4. And so basically, we can stop them from gaining life, or we can hold up our land for Searing Blaze next turn, which is really good. This feels like a pretty decent spot for us, depending on what's in their hand. They only have 1 card in hand, so it feels like it's probably not great. We're going to fetch during our upkeep. We're going to go to 8 here. Spell Queller is 6. Guess we can still prevent life gain this way. Oh, wow. They just had nothing. Man, they must have drawn, like, dog water. Alright. Well, cool. We basically get away with one there to win our second match. That makes us 2-2. Really hope we can finish strong here and finish out with a 3-2. Get our points back. Get a treasure chest out of it. The league hasn't been bad tonight. Like, I don't know. Like, there's been a couple of games where we've lost because like we didn't really hit lands or anything. But for the most part, the league's been pretty decent tonight. Like, nothing terrible. Like, it's been pretty well rounded. Opponent mulligans, we're gonna keep. They have no companion. But I mean, like the league has been pretty good to us tonight. All things accounted for. We lost to Amulet Titan in a close game 3 when there wasn't really anything we could do about it. Like, we just kind of lost, and that's really all there is to it. And then we played Spell Queller. Okay, so now this is a Bant version of what we just played against. Which means they're probably also playing Teferi. Now, we haven't seen a Teferi tonight, but I don't understand why you would be playing Spell Queller and not Teferi. So we will see. Okay, so they don't have Skyclave Apparition in their hand. They did not want Skyclave Apparition. They already had a Skyclave Apparition, okay. Drawing a Searing Blaze would be pretty good here. It's probably worth pushing here just to try and get in. There's Teferi. Yep. So then they can bounce our token. They can bounce our token to draw a card, which seems pretty solid. Alright, they are at 9, and we have 10 points in our hand, so I mean, that is worth noting. They could have settled the wreckage here. I don't really feel like... So this is like a weird spirits list. Collected Company, that's what they have. Okay. Wasn't considering that they were just on spirits with Teferi in the main, so I mean, but yeah. Double Skyclave Apparition. Oof. Now he gets to block our 1/1 for free. Bolt you, cast Flame Rift. I'm at 13, you're at 2. Go get him, pal. He can play Wanderer and hold up Spell Queller here. Play around a creature, okay. I'd like to draw a land here so that we can have double Skullcrack as interaction. I'm going to see what they do here. I don't know what he can do in response here. Like maybe he has like force, or I was like, I don't know, spell pierce. Anyway, okay. Well, against spirits, I mean, feels like we kind of got away with one right there. They apply a lot of pressure, so Flame Rift seems bad. Lava Mancer seems really good. Yeah, I guess we can just try it like this. I don't really know what else we want to bring in here. I don't really know what else we would want, so. Oh, Lord. Are you using your launcher? Oh, yeah, that's right. Have you packed it? Okay. So we have no interaction. Well, we have one piece of interaction. We have two cards that I openly said were bad in the matchup when we were sideboarding, and we only have one land. So this feels like a mulligan to me. While this hand feels better, I'm not stoked about it. Think we're going to ship our Goblin Guide here. Creatures are generally the worst in other creature matchups when you're playing Burn. Like, they're bad against humans, they're bad against this. Generally, drawing a land is good. We're going to suspend Rift Bolt here. Okay. He's going to sacrifice. We're not going to pay. All right. Now, this isn't great because we are basically like running ourselves out of cards here, but they only have 4 cards left in hand. And we're going to have 4 after we draw, so. They're still playing Core Firewalker on the side, which still baffles me to this day. They play Core Firewalker over playing Auriok Champion. I have never understood that. That is something Spirits has always done. Like, they're both double white. Like, do you want the clock? Like, is that what they want? Cast Lava Mancer does do stuff over turns, so if they Spell Queller it, we'll bolt a Spell Queller. Alright. Problem is he's gonna win. He's gonna win this race here over time. Well, we can't block, so. Gonna put him to 13 here. Okay. Yep. Put you to 9. Gonna Spell Queller. Okay. I mean, it sucks because we have to give them an extra point here, but need to put them to 11, which is a lot worse than where we wanted them, so. I think that about locks it up. feels like we're looking for... I don't feel like we can cast this. It feels like we're looking for Dismember here. They can Moreland Haunt here and just make a 1/1. Or they have Collected Company. Make us cry. Alright. Lord. I mean... We have Eidolon on the play, which is good. We've taken Flame Rift out, which I like. We have Dismembers in to help with Firewalkers and other things. Yeah, I think we're just going to run it back. Like, I don't really know what else to change. So, this hand does not beat a core Firewalker, but it is very good. So, we will keep. Skyclave Apparition. Our opponent did have a very slow hand game one, and that helped us a lot. Them not having a Mausoleum Wanderer here would be great. They are going to have to shock if they have one. Noble Hierarch, okay. We draw, like, I was going to say if we draw a removal spell, we will play it to kill a Hierarch, but we don't have it, so. Lands is very good. They go to 10. Now, that's the good news, is that on turn 2, we did put them to 10. They do get Skyclave Apparition here. Or they get Core Firewalker. Skullcrack? Wow. They could have a path here, I guess. Could be something we're playing around. Interesting. Okay. I think that's just game. Because they're going to go to 8. Unless they have something in their hand that I'm not aware of, like... Oh, they play Force of Negation. Okay, that might have just cost us the game, because I was not playing around that. Well, we drew Skullcrack at a very good time, and kind of just feels like it didn't matter. That is very disheartening. So I guess if they don't have interaction here or way to gain life, a burn spell off the top does do it. Man. Force of Negation. I mean, very well played by our opponent. I just wasn't ready for it. This Collected Company right now. Chalice on 2. And Chalice of the Void. Our Spirit's opponent showed up to beat Burn. So that actually wins the game here, right? Because they don't gain anything. And then we just get to Lava Spike them? Alright. Well, our opponent came prepared to beat up on Burn, that is for sure. But we ended up sneaking out a victory anyway, so I won't complain. That was a very close 3-2. So I look over the deck, and so I have to admit, I came home. That was a top deck if I've ever seen one. Oh yeah, that was definitely a top deck. Like I mean, that was like Dismember like wasn't even in my head of like things we could draw. I was just thinking of like multiple burn spells to win the game. Um, that was a really good draw step. I don't when thinking about changing the deck, I don't really know what I would change. You could probably go to 18 lands without fetches and cut Lava Mancer and play like a couple Shard Volleys or something. Um, I don't know. You just kind of get into like sketchy territory when you play Shard Volley, but I really like it. So I don't know. As far as the sideboard goes, I don't know what to change. Without white, it's hard to like really add more stuff. The only thing I could consider adding would be um, is you could play Kozilek's Return over Dismember if you wanted to, but I like Dismember because it's 1 mana and it helps with like Goyf and Angler and stuff. This deck might want to play a Tarkus Command if meta is that heavy of life gain. It's very possible that that being on a Tarkus Command could be good, being like a red-green version. That gives us like a Cloythus sideboard option if we want it, and it also gives us Revelry. Maybe put Blaze on the side. Yeah, I mean, you could probably talk me into doing something like that. Honestly, playing like playing like 2 Blaze and a Tarkus commands, and then you get to well, depending on how you work out the lands. I don't know. It looks pretty sweet though. I'd really like to try Flame Rift in Boros and see what that looks like. I've seen a couple people try it, but I haven't really got to like dabble with it yet. So that might be something we do tomorrow. Um, but yeah, this was Mono Red Burn. So that's it for Magic tonight. We're gonna take about 5